بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن جابر بن عبد الله الأنصاري عن فاطمة الزهراء عليها السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله قال: سمعت فاطمة أنها قالت: دخل علي أبي رسول الله في بعض الأيام فقال: السلام عليك يا فاطمة. فقلت: عليك السلام. قال: إني أجد في بدني ضعفا. فقلت له: أعيذك بالله يا أبتاه من الضعف. فقال: يا فاطمة ائتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به. فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به وسرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولد الحسن قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أمه. وقلت: عليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال: يا أمه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جد رسول الله. فقلت: نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جده يا رسول الله. أتعذنني لأن أنقل معك تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي. قد أذنت لك. فدخل معه تحت الكساء فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولد الحسين قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أمه. وقلت: عليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي: يا أمه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت: نعم. فقلت: نعم إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء. فتلا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جداه. السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله. أتأذنوني لأن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي. قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء. فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال: السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. وقلت: عليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال: يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عم رسول الله. وقلت: نعم ومع ولديك تحت الكساء. وأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله. أتأذنوني لأن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال له: عليك السلام يا أخي ويا وسيم وخليفتي وصاحب نواي. قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد. ثم أتيت نحو نحو الكساء وقلت السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله أتعتنوني لا نكون معكم تحت الكساء قال وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بضعتي قد أذنت لك فدخلت تحت الكساء فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ أبي رسول الله وترفع الكساء وأومأ بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاستي وحرمتي لحم لحمي ودم دمي يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن صالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم إنهم مني وأنا منهم فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. فقال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنيا ولا أرضا مدحيا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل يا ربي ومن تحت الكساء؟ وقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. فقال جبرائيل يا ربي أتأذنوني لأن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنيا ولا أرضا مدحية ولا غمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلك يسري إلا لعشقكم ومحبتكم وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم فلتأذنوني يا رسول الله. وقال رسول الله وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء فقال لأبي إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما نجوس نحاس تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم رحمته وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. وقال علي رضا الله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. وقال النبي ثانيا يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرون هذا في وفي محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفي جمع من شيعتنا محبينا وفيه محموم إلا وفرج الله عنا ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غمنا ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته وقال علي رضا والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة
صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
محمد وآل محمد صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
مغربی کا صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
حر کو شہادتوں کے چمن کی تلاش ہے حر کو شہادتوں کے وطن کی تلاش ہے جگنوں کو سورجوں کے چمن کی تلاش ہے جگنوں کو سورجوں کے چمن کی تلاش ہے ایک بے کفن کے روزے کا اعجاز دیکھیے ایک بے کفن کے روزے کا اعجاز دیکھیے دنیا کو کربلا کے کفن کی تلاش ہے دنیا کو کربلا کے کفن کی تلاش ہے صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
مغربی صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
خوشا وہ لوگ جو رہتے ہیں مبتلا حسین خوشا وہ لوگ جو رہتے ہیں مبتلا حسین کہ دو جہاں کی فضیلت ہے خود بلا حسین کہ دو جہاں کی فضیلت ہے خود بلا حسین تحیات میں کرتا رہوں ثنا حسین کہ تحیات میں کرتا رہوں ثنا حسین جھلس کے دین بھی کر دو بلا میرے جاتا جھلس کے دین بھی کر دو بلا میرے جاتا پناہ دیتی نہ اس کو اگر ابائے حسین پناہ دیتی نہ اس کو اگر ابائے حسین سپر بنی ہے ہر ایک ظلم کے خلاف صدا سپر بنی ہے ہر ایک ظلم کے خلاف صدا جو کربلا سے اٹھی تھی کبھی ندائے حسین بہا کے روح تاغوت لے گئی ہوتی بہا کے روح تاغوت لے گئی ہوتی بقائے دین نہ بنتی اگر عطائے حسین ہمیں تو فخر ہے ہم ان کے نام لیوا ہیں ہماری ایک ہی پہچان ہے بنا حسین ہماری ایک ہی پہچان ہے بنا حسین مقام عظمت آدم سمجھ میں آنے لگا مقام عظمت آدم سمجھ میں آنے لگا کہ جس گھڑی سے ہوا میں بھی آشنا حسین خوشا وہ لوگ جو کہتے ہیں مبتلا حسین کہ دو جہاں کی فضیلت ہے خود بلا حسین
سبحان اللہ سبحان اللہ بابا سے بلند سلام کرسی لے کے بابا سے بلند سلوات قوت دست علی دست خدا جس دم بجش میں نہ پہنچے حسین لاش پر جس دم بجش میں نہ اٹکا ہوا تا آنکھوں میں ابن حسن کا سر اپنا پیٹ کر یہ پکارے قاسم اٹھو کہ آئے ہیں ملنے کو تم سے موڑو نہ آنکھ فاطمہ کے نور کچھ کرو دم آخر حسین سے لاشه قاسم پا شہ بیرو برائے چاک اپنا گھرے باقی ہے ننگے سرائے زالیے ہم شکل نبی ناگر آئے عباس سنبھالے ہوئے تیغوں سے پر آئے عباس سنبھالے ہوئے تیغوں سے پر آئے دیکھا صفت شہر ستمگاروں کو تن کے کیا قاتل پہ جگر بندے حسن کے حملہ کیا قاتل پہ جگر بند حسن کے تہلکہ برپا ہوا بھاگے جو گھوڑوں سے گلے باغ حسن ہو گیا پامال دیکھا شہ مظلوم نے دولہا کا جواب کے نشان سینے پا ملبوس بدل لاپوں کے نشان سینے پا ملبوس بدل زرد تھا زخموں کے دہن خون سے بھرے لگے ہاتھوں کو کالے جیپے دھرے مہندی لگے ہاتھوں کو کالے جیپے دھرے یوں لاش کو فرزند پیغمبر نے اٹھایا ہاتھوں پہ کمر کو شہ بے پر نے اٹھایا سر خاک سے عباس دلاور نے اٹھایا جو الگ تھے انہیں اکبر نے اٹھایا جو الگ تھے انہیں اکبر نے اٹھایا شبر کی بابیں تنے صد پانچ کو لائے ڈھیڑی پاشا شاہ کے لاش کو لائے یوں ڈھیڑی پاشا شہدہ لاش کو لائے یوں ڈھیڑی پاشا ہے شہدہ لاش کو لائے پڑ گیا آئی بنے قاسم کی سواری روتی صفے ماتم سے اٹھی بیویاں ساری ہو گئی گھونگھٹ میں دلہن درد کی ماری سر پیٹ کے فضا در خیمہ سے پکاری غفلت میں خبر کچھ نہیں ان کو سر و پار کی بد آنکھیں کیے سوتے ہیں گودی میں چچا کی بد آنکھیں کیے سوتے ہیں گودی میں چچا کی باہر گئے شیلاش کو مسند پہ لٹا کر کھولے ہوئے گیسو گری خاک پہ آ کر برا سے کہا بالی سکی نانے یہ جا کر جو آئے ہیں مقتل سے بنے خون میں نہا کر جو آئے ہیں مقتل سے بنے خون میں نہا کر تم دیکھو کہ ماتم کو حرم گرد کھڑے وہ پیاہ کی مسند پا جگر تھامے پڑے وہ پیاہ کی مسند پہ جگر تھامے پڑے ماں سے کہا اماں مجھے رونے کی رضا دو کیا کہہ کے दुल्हन दूल्हा को रोती है बता दो चादर कोई उजली सी अगर हो तो उड़ा दो राहें जो पहनती हैं वो पोशाक पहना दो राहें जो पहनती हैं वो पोशाक पहना दो मातम है बापा सीना जली चाहिए मुझको अब सोग में काली कफनी चाहिए मुझको अब सोग में काली कफनी चाहिए मुझको जब लाशे कासिम पाशाए पैरों पर आए सुभान अल्लाह माशाअल्लाह
आवाज़ बुलंद नारे सलवात
इस्लाम के जौहर है मार के क़ुव्वते इस्लाम के जौहर 6 माह की मुद्दत में क़यामत के बराबर नन्हे से मुजाहिद अली असगर नन्हे से मुजाहिद अली असगर मकसद था विलादत का फ़क़त कारे शहादत और ये बात हुई और किसी को ना मयस्सर नन्हे से मुजाहिद अली असगर यकता है तेरी खून में डूबी हुई तस्वीर यकता है तेरी खून में डूबी हुई तस्वीर और तारीख दिखाती नहीं ऐसा कोई मंजर नन्हे से मुजाहिद अली असगर बाबा के सब अंदाज हैं दादा के तरीके बाबा के सब अंदाज हैं दादा के तरीके और नींद आ गई रेती पे न तकिया है ना बिस्तर नन्हे से मुजाहिद अली असगर और उलझे हुए बालों पे फिदा शामे शबे गम उलझे हुए बालों पे फिदा शामे शबे गम और डूबी हुई नब्ज़ों पे ستاروں کی نچھاور ننھے سے مجاہد علی اصغر اور ڈھلکی ہوئی گردن پہ ید اللہ کے بوسے ڈھلکی ہوئی گردن پہ ید اللہ کے بوسے اور سوکھے ہوئے ہونٹوں پہ تصدق لبے کوثر ننھے سے مجاہد علی اصغر آنکھوں میں چھلکتا ہوا معصوم تبسم آنکھوں میں چھلکتا ہوا معصوم تبسم اور گردن سے ٹپکتا ہوا خون دل مادر ننھے سے مجاہد علی اصغر تاریخ میں ہے سب تیرا بچپن کا سلیقہ تاریخ میں ہے سب تیرا بچپن کا سلیقہ اور تو موت کی آغوش میں آیا تھا ہمک کر ننھے سے مجاہد علی اصغر اور آرام سے سوئے شب عاشور کے جانگے آرام سے سوئے شب عاشور کے جانگے لوری تجھے دیتا ہے تیرا نجم سخنور ننھے سے مجاہد علی اصغر
السلام علیکم پلیز آپ لوگ اتنا آگے ہو سکے آگے آ جائیں ابھی لاؤڈ سا بات
محمد
بابا سے بلند صلوات
بنیانی مجلس کے بالخصوص جعفری سید سبت حسن رضوی طاہرہ بیگم سید محمد عباس حیدر سبت ابو الاوسط وطن نساء بیگم ضلع حسین بدر دل ناز کاظمی وقار سیدہ اپنے ذہن میں جگہ دیتے ہوئے ایک مرتبہ سورہ حمد 3 مرتبہ سورہ توحید کی تلاوت أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين سيدنا ونبينا وشفيع ذنوبنا وطبيب قلوبنا بالقاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الغر الميامين المعصومين من يومنا هذا إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وخطابه المتين وهو أصدق القائلين وقوله الحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون. صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد.
The purpose of our creation is ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the prerequisite of ibadat is ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The essence of ibadat, the haqiqat of ibadat is, that is a condition. Niyat is a condition of ibadat. If niyat is not there, the action will not be considered an act of worship. So niyat is one of the conditions of ibadat. Just like taharat for salat is a condition of ibadat. So if you pray without salat, without tahara, your salat will not be valid. You'll get the sawab of the zikr and of sujood and ruku, because you're doing that for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will get the sawab for that. But would that be counted as a valid salat that you have done, that you are supposed to do? No. Why? Because one of the conditions. Another condition of salat, for example, is facing the qibla. So these are another condition of salat. And it is important, it is interesting to note that we pay so much attention to salat, and there is so much emphasis on salat. The traditions say that if a single 2 rakat prayers of a moment is accepted, Jannat becomes wajib on him. A single 2 rakat prayers is accepted, Jannat becomes wajib on him. And sometimes we get surprised at why, or how is it possible that for a single 2 rakat prayers, acceptance of 2 rakat prayers? If you look at the conditions of salat, you understand why we have this link, this acceptance of 2 rakat prayers. Because it is very difficult. And if we, to fulfill in the true sense the conditions of salat, we don't pay attention to the conditions of salat. And had we paid attention to the conditions of salat, the society would be in a totally different situation today. The fighting and then the fights that occur between families, between brothers and between sisters and between family members, or inheritance and other matters of money, for example, would not have been there had we paid attention to the conditions of salat. For example, one of the conditions of salat is that the place that you are worshipping on should be mubah. The dress that you are wearing should not be from haram sources. The place that you are worshipping on should be mubah, you should be allowed. So if you are praying on some usurped land, ghasbi zameen mein agar namaz pad rahi hai, the namaz is invalid. Just like if you don't face the qibla, the namaz is invalid. If you don't have tahara, the namaz is invalid. If you pray on usurped land, the salat is invalid. There can be multiple instances of usurped land without us knowing. If we build our house, if we buy our land from haram income, we cannot pray there.
if you pray in your house, which was inherited by your brothers as well along with you, if a father dies and he leaves behind his property, and a single son takes control over the entire property and deprives the other brothers and sisters their right. But this land will be considered usurped. And if he prays in this land, if he has majlis in this land, any act of worship in this land, the sawab would go to those inheritors. For him, it is only the tiredness, the boredom, thakawat. Just like you go to Hajj with stolen money, you get no sawab. All the sawab goes to the person who owned that money. सारा sawab usko mil jayega. आपके हिस्से में फकत थकावट है. Same goes with majlis. The same goes with salah. So if there is haram in our clothes, salat is invalid. If there is haram in the land you are praying, so imagine now, if we want our salah to be accepted, how much careful, how much attention we need to pay on the sources of income that we have. And haram is not only from stealing, haram is also by depriving others their right. Haram is also through corruption. So there are all these ways in which we can make our salat invalid. And the people who pray 5 times a day, in the prime time, awwal waqt, right after prayers, they run to their offices back and then again are involved in corruption. This salat is not accepted. This salat is not valid. It's just like praying in a direction other than the qibla, because taharat, mubah of the taharat and mubah of the place of worship and taharat of the place of sajda is a condition. So if it is usurped land, your salat is invalid. Even though your body is tahir, you are praying on time, you have perfume on yourself, everything is there, you're praying on time, rather on the prime time with jama'ah, for example. Even the ghusl mayyat would have issues in a place that is usurped. So those who are living in usurped lands, who have deprived their sisters, for example, of the right of inheritance. We have this it's very common in Pakistan, depriving sisters of their right to inheritance, the right to inherit. That land is, you cannot pray on that land. Depriving brothers of their inheritance and taking control over, or transgressing your rights and taking control over someone else's property and building your house over that. Islam will not be acceptable. So niyat is also a condition of ibadat. But what is the essence of ibadat? The essence of ibadat is ita'at. It's obedience. We talked about this the other day. It's obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What will be considered ibadat? An act which is performed in the manner that Allah wishes you to perform. When Shaitan was commanded to prostrate to Adam alayhi salam, what did he say? He said, forgive me this one sajda of yours, and in return, inni a'buduka ibadatan lam ya'budkaha malakun muqarrab wala nabiyyun mursal. Forgive me this one sajda, let me not prostrate to Adam, and in return, I will do an ibadah that no Nabi and no angel has ever done before. He's not denying ibadat. He's not saying, I'm not going to worship you. He's saying, I will worship you. I will do sajda to you. I will prostrate before you, but in the way I want. What did Allah reply? La hajata li ila ibadatik. I do not need your ibadat. I'm not in need of your ibadah. Why? Inni uridu an ubad min haysu urid. La min haysu turid. I want to be worshipped the way I want. Not the way you want. This applies to all acts of worship. You go and do Hajj, you have to do it the way Allah wants. You want to pray, you want to do Salat, you have to do it the way Allah wants. If it's 3 rakats of Maghrib, you cannot do 4 rakats. If you do 4 rakats, it's batil. You have added another ruku and another sajda, it's batil. Even the askar, the sayings, if Allah commands you, this is what you need to say in ruku, or this is what you need to say in sujood, or this is what you need to say the first rakat, this is what you need to, or this is what you can say the second rakat. And if you disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala there, and you add or reduce statements from the Holy Quran, from the Salat, thinking that Allah is going to get pleased with it. Allah has already said, Inni uridu an awdat min haysu urid. La min haysu turid. Allah is not, Allah doesn't need our ibadah. He knows what is best for us. He knows what is going to take us to perfection. That is why He has revealed salat in this manner. He has revealed Sawm in this manner. If a person says, I would like to fast from Sahar to Sahar, not from Sahar to Maghrib, Sahar to Sahar, it is bid'ah. It is bid'ah. Adding something in religion that is not part of religion, or taking something out of religion that is not part of religion. So the purpose of creation is ibadat. The prerequisite of ibadat is ma'rifah. The essence of ibadat, the haqiqat of ibadat is obedience. If you are obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are worshipping Him. Whether that obeying, whether you are on bed, obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are sleeping in obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is considered an act of worship. But if you are praying, disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is not an act of worship. You're worshipping your own self, you're worshipping shaitan. So the essence of ibadat is obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why in one of the traditions we find, Man ata'a rajulan fi ma'siyatin faqad abada. Whoever follows a person, whoever obeys a person in sin, has actually worshipped him. किसी की अताअत, मासियत में किसी की अताअत गोया उसकी इबादत की है. Because the haqiqah, the essence of ibadat is obedience. And one of the conditions of ibadat, of all ibadat, so taharat, for example, is one of the conditions of salat. But that is not a condition for all other ibadat. There are other ibadat that you can do without tahara. But one condition that persists or pertains to all acts of worship is niyat. If there is no niyat, it is not an act of worship. And niyat has two components. What is it that you're doing? Why is it that you are doing? And purifying your intention is very important. On a regular basis, that our intention becomes so pure that it becomes only and only for the sake of Allah. It's just like gold. If the intention is pure, it turns your action into gold. And gold never rests. If the intention is not pure, it will have your action, your ibadat will be like gold with traces of iron in it. And if there are traces of iron, it will rust over time based on the level of iron. So we have to strive to purify our intention. Now, how can one purify our intention? How can one purify our intention? I gave an example the other day. If it is announced that there will be $500 prize for whoever prays Fajr tonight in the morning, the center would be full, right? Why? And when you're praying in the morning, what would you be saying? Do rakat namaz padhta hu qurbatan ilallah. That's what you're bringing on your mouth. Or what is the real motivation behind it? Towards $500. So that is your niyat. Why is it that you're doing it? That is the motivation. Now a person wants to change this motivation. When will that happen? How can he do that? We need to provide solutions as well. This is a problem. We need to fix our intention, we need to fix our motivation. How can one do that? Ma'rifat is ma'rifat of what now? Ma'rifat of Khuda, yes, that is prerequisite of ibadat, very good. But unless you change it is related with ma'rifat, unless you change your worldview, unless you value the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than $500, your niyat cannot be changed. A person who loves this dunya, who loves money, when he chooses his profession, it is the money which is going to dictate which profession he chooses. If he's becoming a doctor because he knows that this is a very highly rewarding profession, he might say that I'm becoming a doctor because I want to serve humanity. Or a teacher, for example, would say I want to become a teacher because I want to serve humanity. But if he's becoming a teacher because it's a highly paid job, he cannot change his niyyah to that of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unless he values Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more, he values akhirah more than this dunya. Unless that switch takes place, unless that value system changes, your niyyah cannot change. Because it is not what you say, it is what you believe. It is what you believe that will change your niyyah. For example, zuhud, what is zuhud? We have heard this word a lot of times. Muhammad Islam is the greatest zahid. Zuhud is something that is recommended. We all should strive to be zahids. So what is zuhud? Not having enough? This is the incorrect interpretation. This is a distorted interpretation of zuhud. Inshallah, we'll talk about what is zuhud. Zuhud doesn't mean not having enough. Imam Ali was asked, asked about zuhud. He says zuhud can be summarized in two phrases of the Holy Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم لكي لا تعصوا على ما فاتكم ولا تفرحوا بما آتاكم. You do not get upset at what leaves you. And you do not get excited at what comes to you. So if your stocks skyrocket, it doesn't affect you. If your property nosedives, it doesn't hurt you. You're the same person. You'll sleep as calm as you slept the other day. That is zuhud. You get $1,000 today, it doesn't affect you. You get $1 billion today, it doesn't affect you. You lose all your wealth, it doesn't affect you. Is that possible? Is it something we can accomplish? Yes? It's very difficult. When will it, so we have been recommended to strive for it. It will be difficult only if we have an incorrect worldview. But it will become very easy when you have the right worldview. Let me give you an example. If you're working as a teller at the bank, and today a person walks in and deposits $1 million in the bank, will you be very excited? No. The other day, the next day, a person comes and withdraws $2 million. No, why? Because you don't consider it your money. If you don't consider it your money, you are taking it and you are returning it. It is in your possession. But it's not going to affect you because you don't consider it to be your money. But when Allah gives you money and He takes it away from you, why do you think it is your money? If we could have the same worldview, if we could have the same view regarding the blessings Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us, that whatever He has given me, if I'm a millionaire today, it is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is an amanat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has given it to me today, He can take it back tomorrow. And if He takes it back tomorrow, there's nothing to worry about. It's just like, working at the bank. As long as you don't consider your money, you do not consider your children, they have imanat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that you can train them to be helpers of the Imam. That is your responsibility. So if Allah takes them away from you, if He gives it to you, alhamdulillah. If He takes it away from us, alhamdulillah. Yes, emotions are there. Tears will flow. Yes, but alhamdulillah, it was His amanat. So when will that happen? When will zuhud? When will we get to the station of zuhud? When that worldview is there. When we have that understanding that everything is from Allah and He owns everything. So once that happens, it becomes very easy to become a zahid. But if that doesn't happen, if you consider the wealth to be your wealth, you'll always get excited when it increases and you'll always get upset when it leaves you. So in order to change that niyat, we have to work on our aqaid, we have to work on our belief system. What is it that you believe? Do you consider this wealth to be yours? Do you consider your health to be yours or a gift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He can take it back any moment he wants. If that is it, it becomes easy to accomplish the virtues. It becomes easy to sacrifice for the sake of Allah. Because everything is Allah's. He has given it to us as an opportunity. All the blessing that He has provided is an opportunity to rise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's this story, one of my teachers, who's not in this world anymore, he told us in class, he said there was this person, a poor person, who happened to had a glance of the king's daughter, and he wanted to marry her. But he did not have the wealth, nor fame, nor any popularity, nor power, nor status. So he thought and thought and thought, how can he get married to the king's daughter? So he recalled that he had an old friend who works at the chief minister of the king. So he went to him and he said, well, this is my problem, can you help? So he said, do you have any wealth with you? He said, no. Any status and any position? He said, no, none. So that's not possible. Then he said, there's only one way I can be of help. He said, what? He said, the king loves zahids. The king loves hermits. Now again, this zuhud is an distorted concept that you leave everything and you start living in cave. That is not zuhud. Okay, that is not zuhud. Zuhud is that you do not get attached to the world. You might have the best car. You might have BMW, or any other car that is the best car in the world. But if that car leaves you, it's okay. That is zuhud. Zuhud is not having little. Zuhud is not getting attached to what you have, no matter how much you have. That is zuhud. So anyway, in that distorted concept, he said the king loves hermits. So if you can become a hermit, and every 6 months he visits a hermit. हर 6 महीने किसी न किसी ज़ाहिद के पास जाता है. And when he visits the hermit and he leaves the hermit, he makes a request. He says, whatever I will fulfill one wish of yours. He fulfills one wish of a hermit every 6 months. So if you can become that popular, if you can become a hermit, the king will visit you, and when he leaves, then we'll take care from there. I will take care from there. So he said this is not very difficult, so he starts practicing. So he starts living in a cave and eats less and drinks less and spends time in prayers and is prostrating on stones and get that mark on his forehead, impress the king. He keeps doing that, and after a few months, he becomes famous and people are excited about him. They start talking about him, and the king hears about him. So one day the king decides to pay a visit to this hermit. So the chief minister gets excited, so he comes to his cave and he says, well, tomorrow the king is going to visit you. Don't get overexcited, don't get overjoyed, keep your calm, don't give it away. And when he will be leaving, and he will ask you to make a wish. At that time, just don't be very, don't be shy, don't be very open as well. And just say that if the king wants to fulfill a wish, then if he can establish some ties with me, then it will be in his benefit. Just something along those lines, and then I will take care from there. So that was the plan, and that was decided. And so the next day, when the king walks in to the cave, inside the cave, and this person starts his prayers, looking at the king is coming, he starts his prayers, and he says Allahu Akbar, and then the king sits down and waits for him, and he finishes his prayer, and then he stands up and starts another prayer. He finishes another prayer, and then he stands up and does a third prayer. The chief minister realizes something is wrong now.
Too much.
He's overdoing it. And then he says, so he greets him, and then he stands up and does another rak'ah. The king has to wait for a while, and then when the king, eventually when he turns to the king and they start talking, and the king says, I'm really impressed. And the king was impressed because the king never had to wait for so much. And this really impressed the king, that this is really a hermit who doesn't even care about me. He's so involved in his ibadat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so they have a discussion, and when the king is about to leave, he said, I'm really impressed. I would really like to fulfill one wish of yours. And he said, well, thank you for the offer, but I don't have a wish. And the chief minister is confused. So the king said, well, still, I would be happy if I fulfill one wish of you, any wish that you have, any wish. He said, no, I don't have any wish. The king insisted and he refused. So the king stood up, and as he was about to walk, the chief minister again, intervened and said, you sure you don't have anything, any wish to make? And then he said, no. And then the king left even more impressed. So when the king had gone, the chief minister comes back to him and said, you spoiled your whole effort for 6 months. You've been practicing for this very moment, and when the moment arrived, you let it go. Why did you do that? He said, when the king walked in my cave, and I started my prayers to impress the king, and when I went to sajda, जब मैंने अपने सर को सजदे में रखा, I had this realization. I said to myself, when I put my forehead on the sajda, I said to myself, 6 महीने से you have been praying for 6 months to please this king. And this fake ibadat of yours is so powerful that it was able to pull the king from his palace to your cave. What would have happened had I done these prayers for the sake of Allah? अगर ये इबादत खुदा के लिए की होती तो उसमें कितनी ताकत होती। जो रिया के लिए इबादत की, जो बादशाह के लिए इबादत की, उसके अंदर इतनी ताकत कि बादशाह को अपने दरबार से खींच के मेरी दहलीज पे ले आए। अगर यही इबादत खुदा के लिए की होती, I found my love. I don't want to marry the king's daughter. I found my love. So this is how this realization is necessary for that switch of niyat. If that niyat, if you do not value Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like one of the traditions, it says that when a person is given a choice between two matters, إذا خير بين الأمرين أمر الدنيا والآخرة, one matter pertains to the matter of the dunya and one matter pertains to the matter of the akhirah, and if he chooses the matter of akhirah, he is the one whom Allah loves. And if he chooses the matter of this dunya, then Allah subhanahu, he is the one for whom Allah has no status and no value. If we are at a crossroads where we have to choose between this dunya and the akhirah, and God forbid, if we choose the matter of this dunya, then we should know that we have no manzila before God. In another tradition, Imam says that if you want to know your status before God, if you want to know, if you want to find out, if you want to do a litmus test, what is my value before God? How much Allah values me? Look within yourself and see how much you value Allah. It's exactly going to be the same. If you do not value Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will have no value before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we need to, in order for niyat, for the ibadat to be pure and free from riya, the niyat has to be fixed. The niyat will not fix, will not change unless we value the hereafter more than this dunya. As long as this dunya is more important for us. And that is why when Imam Hussain al-Islam, throughout the journey, it has been narrated that in each stop that Imam Hussain al-Islam descended, in the entire journey from Mecca to Karbala, at every stop when he stood down, when he came down, he addressed the companions and told them about the disloyalty of this dunya, to remove any attachments that they had towards this dunya. And he would narrate the story of Prophet Yahya alayhi salam. He said it is enough to know how disloyal this dunya is, how invaluable this dunya is before God, to look at what happened to the Yahya alayhi salam. His head was presented in a tray to one of the prostitutes of Bani Israel. This is the value of dunya. This is what dunya does to people. It's so invaluable. This has no value before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Imam wanted pure companions who do not love this dunya. Because if you love this dunya, you will not be able to support the Imam of your time. Simple. When the Imam will reappear, remember we all call out the Imam of our time, we all say Al-Ajal, Al-Ajal. If you look at the letters that the Kufans wrote to Imam alayhi salam, at the end of the letter they would write Al-Ajal, Al-Ajal Yabna Rasulullah. Quick, hasten, we are ready. We are going to do bay'ah. We are also saying the same today. Al-Ajal, Al-Ajal, Yabna Rasulullah. You're calling them. But what happened when the Imam came? They were standing against the Imam. Why? It was the love of this dunya. It was precisely the love of this dunya, the fear of death, the love of wealth that stopped them from helping the Imam of their time. And Imam Hussain al-Islam is training his companions, is cleansing his companions of any love that they might have. He narrates the story of Prophet Yahya. And the story goes like this: the king of that time had a wife, and that wife had a daughter, and then the wife wanted her daughter to marry the king so that she could become the next queen. And the king was not ready to do that. So he came and consulted Prophet Yahya. The Prophet said that this is haram, you cannot do that. And that lady became upset at why Hazrat Yahya had given such a suggestion. So she trapped the king, and the daughter lured the king into a state where he was really eager to marry, wanted to marry her. Then she said, I'm not going to give myself into marriage until you bring me the head of Prophet Yahya. Until you bring me the head of Prophet Yahya. And that is how Prophet Yahya was slaughtered, and his head was presented to this Baghiya, to this prostitute. That's why you see there's a lot of resemblance between Prophet Yahya, the way he was slaughtered, the way his head was presented, and that of Imam Hussain al-Islam. He said that he was also slaughtered from the back, not from the front. Imam Hussain al-Islam was slaughtered. There's so much resemblance. And Imam Hussain al-Islam would repeatedly talk about Prophet Yahya and this incident at every stop. Because that is the way to get rid of the love of this dunya. Visiting your graves, visiting the cemetery, once every week, once every month, is another way of getting rid of the love of this dunya. When you look at the graves, you realize that this dunya is going to leave you. This is where you will end up. The love of the world is cleansed from our hearts. So in order to improve our niyyah, we have to get rid of the love of the world. We have to get to a point where akhirah, where hereafter, is more important for us. Now you have fixed your niyyah. Is that enough now? So we have marifat, we have ibadat, we have obedience, we have niyyat. We've done the fi'l, we have done the action. Are we done? No. There's yet another level. And that is, there is a condition for the acceptance of prayers. Up till now, the niyat is a condition for the prayer to be valid. When you turn in your thesis in the university, if you have printed it in red ink, will they accept it? If you print it on A5 paper or B5 instead of A4, will they accept it? No matter what the contents are, they are going to reject it right away. But if you follow all the guidelines, they will take it. Will it get accepted?
Maybe.
Maybe not. It will depend on what is written. It will depend on the quality of the work. So if you have all the ibadat done, if you have all the conditions met, the niyat is there, everything is there, there is yet another condition to be fulfilled for this act to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The angels will do a check mark, yes, salat has been done. But will it be accepted or not? Will it depend on ikhlas is purifying of niyat. That is niyat. Ikhlas is purification of niyat. That will depend on taqwa. That will depend on taqwa. But the Quran says, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts the actions and only from the muttaqeen. Every sincere action done with sincerity, but if it does not have taqwa, it will not get accepted. There's a story behind it, and it's already over at the time. Inshallah, we will continue tomorrow. In the time of the sixth Imam, peace to Salawat, a person became very famous for his acts of kindness and good deeds. Everybody was talking about him. The Imam decided to pay a visit to this person and see what is it that he does. So the Imam came to a place where he was standing and he was talking to the public, And Imam kept his distance and he saw that this person was trying to impress people. So Imam quite quietly watched. Then suddenly he stepped down and he started to walk and the Imam was following him at a distance. And the Imam saw that this person stops at a bakery. And when initially he stops at a bakery or a fruit shop to one of the two, it's either in either order. So let us assume he first stopped at the bakery. And when the baker was not watching, he just took two loaves and hid it under his abba and then walks away. It's really surprised the Imam, why did you do that? But then according to Islamic tradition, whenever you see an act, you have to do husn zan. And you have to think that, well, maybe he had already paid for it, or he makes a payment once every week, or once every month, and he took it. So you should not think that he stole it. So the Imam didn't make a judgment at that time, but this was surprising for him. He continued walking after him, and then he stopped at a fruit shop. And when he was not watching, he took two pomegranates, to anar. He hid them and then walked away. Then he came to a place where there were a lot of poor people, destitute, and he distributed these to the poor people. This is even more surprising for the Imam. So the Imam stopped him. He said, "What is it that you have done?" He turns to him and looks at this person dressed in this sacred and holy manner. And he said, "I think you are the son of the Holy Prophet." He said, "Yes." He said, "But the Imam said, I've seen strange things from you which I can't explain. Why did you do these things?" He said, "You belong to the family of the Holy Prophet. You belong to the family of the Quran, but yet you do not understand the verses of the Quran." Imam said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Have you not heard the Holy Quran? Have you not read the Holy Quran? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran says, "Man jaa bil hasana falahu ashru amsalha." Whoever does a good deed, he's rewarded 10 times his value. وَمَنْ جَاءَ بِالسَّيِّئَةِ فَلَا يُجْزَى إِلَّا مِثْلَهَا. He will not be punished except for its like. So good deed is times 10, and bad deed is 1. So I stole, so that's -4, and then I gave it to the poor. So each good deed is 10 times its value, so I have 40. -4, so I still have 36. 36 linking with me, I still have 36 good deeds with me. Simple math, and you can't even do this math. The Imam really got upset. And he turned to him and he said, "Have you not read this verse of the Holy Quran? إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ." Allah accepts only and only from the muttaqeen. You think you have 36 good deeds with you, not realizing that first you did 4 bad deeds by stealing from people. And then the wealth that was other people's, you gave that away in charity without their permission. That are 4 more bad deeds. So you have ended up with 8 negatives, not 36 positives. Allah accepts only and only from the muttaqeen. And then Imam came back to his companions and narrated the whole story and said, "There's these people, these simple-minded people who interpret the Quran in this way, they deceive themselves and others." So it is important, even if the actions are done with sincerity of intention, it is important that we have taqwa with us, for that act to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For actions done without taqwa will not have the condition of acceptance. What is taqwa? Now we'll finish there inshallah. What is taqwa? Because this is very important now. Just like niyat was important, niyat is condition for the ibadah to be valid. But if the ibadah is valid, yet we are lacking taqwa, it will not get accepted. There's no point of doing ibadah if you don't have taqwa. What is taqwa? Taqwa means taqwa of God. Exercise taqwa of God. What does that mean?
God is one.
Fear God. Again, why fear God? But it's nothing to be afraid of God. We fear His adalat. We fear the outcome of our actions. When Imam was asked what taqwa is, he phrased it. He summarized in his beautiful statement. He said, "Taqwa is that God should not find you at places where He has forbidden you to be. And He should not find you absent from places where He has commanded you to be." This is taqwa. when he has commanded you to pray, then he should find you on the prayer mat at the time of Salah. If Hajj is wajib on you, he should find you in Mina and Mecca and Arafah during the Hajj season. If he has commanded you to stay away from ghibat, he should not find you in gatherings where ghibat is done. He should not find you in bars and casinos and all of these places, all of the haram places. If you are staying away from all of the haram and you're doing all of the wajibat, that is taqwa. That is a basic level of taqwa. And that is the best of the provisions for our journey towards akhirah. So Imam alayhi salam, one of the duties of the Imam of the time is to help us get to perfection, help us fulfill the purpose of our creation, help us purify our intentions, help us develop taqwa. That is one of the reasons, that could possibly be one of the reasons why when some of the companions came and sought permission to go to the battlefield, the Imam initially refused, giving them the opportunity to insist. जब इसरार इनकार करते थे तो अगला सहाबी जो है या बच्चा जो है वो इसरार करता था, इल्तिजा करता था. He expresses his desire to go and become shaheed. And expressing desire and your want to become a shaheed raises you, elevates you spiritually. It is the duty of the Imam to elevate all of us spiritually. So the Imam, by saying no in the beginning, is giving you the opportunity to insist. And the more you insist, the higher you will become, until you get to a point where you're ready. You have achieved your full potential now. जो आपके अंदर इस सलाहियत है, आपने full उसको achieve कर लिया, and now the Imam will give you permission to go into battle. Probably this could be one of the reasons why, when especially the kids came. I mentioned this before, that in the Battle of Karbala, there are 5 kids whose moms were present in the Battle of Karbala. These kids were slaughtered before their very mothers in the Battle of Karbala. One of them was Qasim. One of them was Abdullah ibn Hassan. One of them was Al-Yasfar. It is narrated and people read it, and you must have heard this, that it seems logical that when Imam Hassan alayhi salam was leaving this world, he called his son Qasim and he made a wasiyah to him. He said, whenever you find yourself in trouble and there is no way out, then this is a wasiyah from me. You can open this wasiyah and read it. It will guide you. Years have passed by, 10 years passed by. He did not open that wasiyah. There were a lot of difficult times after Imam Hassan's death, alayhi salam, but these children are the children of the holy household. Worldly problems are not difficult problems for them. On the day of Ashur, when this child comes to seek permission from the Imam to go to the battlefield, and the Imam is denying him permission. I don't know why the Imam was denying him. He might have, whenever he looks at Hazrat Qasim, the Imam must be reminded of his brother, Imam Hassan alayhi salam. How could he let his brother's nishani, his brother's sign, go to the battlefield? He says no. And the Janabi Qasim is insisting and the Imam is saying no. Until Hazrat Qasim remembers the wasiyah of his father. This is the moment. This is a difficult time for Qasim. He wants to be shaheed and the Imam is not permitting him. So he opens that wasiyah, he reads this wasiyah, he becomes happy, he comes to the Imam, shows the wasiyah. The Imam cannot stop Qasim now anymore. The Imam cannot stop Qasim. रिवायत में मिलता है कि इमाम ने खुद इमामे के 2 टुकड़े किए, इमामे के कपड़े के 2 टुकड़े किए, एक का इमामा बनाया जनाब कासिम के सर पे रखा और दूसरे कपड़े को कफन बनाकर जनाब कासिम को पहनाया. छोटा बच्चा है, कफन बनाकर पहनाकर भेजा. और जब जनाब कासिम तलवार के साथ मैदान की तरफ जा रहे थे तो तलवार इतनी लंबी थी कि तलवार की नोक से मिट्टी सहराए रेगिस्तान करबला में एक खत खींचता चला जा रहा था. ऐसा लग रहा था कि जनाब कासिम शहादत तक की सड़क बनाते जा रहे थे, मार्किंग हिज वे टू मार्टरडम. जब पहुंचे मुड़कर इमाम को खुदा हाफिज की, जब जाने लगे हैं तो भेजने से पहले मेरे इमाम ने जनाब कासिम को अपनी गोद में लिया, गले लग कर रोते रहे, दोनों रोते रहे। बाप जनाब कासिम भी रोए हैं, जनाब हुसैन अलैहिस्सलाम भी रोए हैं। इतना गिरिया इमाम ने किसी और शहीद पर नहीं किया, किसी और को अलविदा कहते वक्त इतना गिरिया नहीं किया। जब मैदान जंग में पहुंचे हैं, जंग की है, अपना तारुफ कराया, आपने कल सुना है सब, तारुफ कराया अपना, इन तुनकिरूनी फना इब्नुल हसन, अगर नहीं जानते तो सुनो मैं इब्ने हसन हूँ, सिब्तुन नबी अल मुस्तफा अल मुअतमन, सिब्ते नबी हूँ, मुस्तफा का फर्जंद हूँ। फिर कहा, फिर रोने लगे। एक शख्स ने कहा क्यों रो रहे हो? दिलावर मैदाने जंग में रोया नहीं करते। कहा मैं अपने लिए नहीं रो रहा, हाजा हुसैनुन कल असीर अल मुर्तहन, मैं तो इस हुसैन के लिए रो रहा हूँ जिसको तुमने मेहमान बुलाकर दुश्मनों के नरगे में अकेला छोड़ दिया। जंग की शहीद हो जाते हैं, जनाजे पर इमाम पहुंचते हैं, सर को गोद में लिया, लेकर कहते हैं कि कासिम तेरे चचा के लिए बहुत सख्त है कि तू आखिरी वक्त अपने चचा को बुलाए और तेरा चचा ना पहुंच सके, तेरी मदद न कर सके, या अगर पहुंच पाए तो उसकी मदद तेरे किसी काम ना आए। कहते जनाबे कासिम, लेकिन करबला के मैदान में इमाम हसन के और भी फर्जंद शहीद हुए हैं जिसका जिक्र आप नहीं सुनते, जिक्र नहीं किया जाता। एक जनाबे अबू बकर बिन हसन है, वो भी इमाम हसन के फर्जंद हैं। एक और बच्चा है इमाम हसन का जो करबला में शहीद हुआ है, उसका नाम है अब्दुल्ला इब्ने हसन। अब्दुल्ला इब्ने हसन छोटे हैं, ये छोटे शायद सबसे छोटे हैं, और इनकी शहादत मख्तल ने इस तरह से बयान की है कि एक वो वक्त आया कि यहाँ से शुरू बहुत थोड़ा मिलता है, मख्तल में ये लिखा है कि एक वो वक्त आया कि बीबियां खैमों से बाहर निकल पड़ी, बच्चे खैमों से बाहर निकल पड़े। ये नहीं लिखा कौन सा वक्त है, लेकिन क़राइन से लगता है कि ये वो वक्त होगा जब हुसैन घोड़े से जमीन पर आ चुके हैं, हुसैन रेगिस्तान करबला पर पहुंच चुके हैं, और बीबियों को एहसास हो गया कि हुसैन का आखिरी वक्त आ गया है। बीबियां खैमों से निकली, बच्चे खैमों से निकले। एक मर्तबा हुसैन को एहसास हुआ कि बीबियां खैमों से निकल पड़ी हैं। एक मर्तबा हुसैन ने बुलंद आवाज करके कहा, बीबियां ज़ैनब सब खैमे में वापस चली जाओ, गो रिटर्न टू द कैंप। बीबियां पलट गई, खैमों में चली गई, लेकिन अब्दुल्ला इब्ने हसन ये नहीं पलटा, ये बच्चा इमाम हुसैन की तरफ दौड़ता चला जा रहा है। खुदा जाने मेरे मौला हुसैन को कैसे मालूम हुआ कि बच्चा मेरी तरफ आ रहा है। शायद बिस्तर रेगिस्तान करबला पे मेरा मौला पड़े हुए हैं, लेकिन एहसास हो गया कि बच्चा मेरी तरफ आ रहा है। फिर कहा बहन ज़ैनब अब्दुल्ला को भी वापस खैमे में ले जाइए। सानिया ज़हरा ने अब्दुल्ला का हाथ पकड़ा, खींच के खैमे में ले जाना चाहती है, बच्चा खैमे में नहीं जाना चाहता। एक मर्तबा जब बच्चे को एहसास हुआ कि सानिया ज़हरा मेरी फूफी जान मुझे खैमे में वापस ले जाएंगी, तो एक जुमला कहा जिसके बाद सानिया ज़हरा रह नहीं सकी। कहा फूफी अम्मा मैं अपने चचा को इस हालत में नहीं छोड़ सकता, मैं अपने चचा को इस हालत में नहीं छोड़ सकता। सानिया ज़हरा ने बच्चे का हाथ छोड़ दिया, बच्चा दौड़ता हुआ अपने चचा के पास पहुंचा, अपने आप को चचा के ऊपर गिरा दिया। खुदा जाने अब क्या बातें कर रहा है, यही कह रहा होगा चाचा जान उठिए वापस चलिए, हम वादा करते हैं अब अल्लाह की सदाएं बुलंद नहीं करेंगे। आज जो भी मैदान में गया है वापस नहीं आया, हम वादा करते हैं प्यास नहीं करेंगे। अभी ये गुफ्तगू हो रही थी कि एक मलून आगे बढ़ा, हाथ में तलवार है, इमाम का सर जुदा करना चाहता है। जनाब अब्दुल्ला ने देखा कि मलून ये हरकत करना चाहता है, एक मर्तबा अपने इमाम को अपने हाथों से बचाया है, और तलवार जो चली तो इस बच्चे के दोनों हाथ इमाम की आंखों के सामने जुदा हो जाते हैं। खुदा करे यही तक हुआ हो, लेकिन मिलता है खुदा करे ये दुरुस्त हो कि उस मलून ने इसके बाद उस बच्चे को सर से उठाया, हुसैन की आंखों के सामने, सानिया ज़हरा की आंखों के सामने इस बच्चे का सर तन से जुदा कर दिया।
या हुसैन, 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 या हुसैन।
حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا ایک ہی گھٹی میں فخر قاسم کا لاش آ گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا چار کاندھوں پر جنازہ گھر میں آتا ہے مگر چار کاندھوں پر جنازہ گھر میں آتا ہے مگر ایک ہی کاندھے پہ اس کا جنازہ گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا جس طرح چنتا ہے مالی پھول اپنے باغ کے جس طرح چنتا ہے مالی پھول اپنے باغ کے ٹکڑیوں قاسم کے چننے میرا مولا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا چوم کرتا بھی سرور تیرے تک روتے رہے چوم کرتا بھی سرور تیرے تک روتے رہے بھائی کے لفظوں میں جانے یاد کیا کیا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا آ گئی بارات ان سے روک فضا نے کہا آ گئی بارات ان سے روک فضا نے کہا بیبیوں تعظیم کو اٹھ جاؤ دلہا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا آ گئی بارات ان سے روک فضا نے کہا آ گئی بارات ان سے روک فضا نے کہا بیبیوں تعظیم کو اٹھ جاؤ دلہا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا لاش کو ترتیب جب دینے لگا صحرا قرار لاش کو ترتیب جب دینے لگا صحرا قرار پر ہم مولا کی آنکھوں میں اندھیرا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا دشت میں ابن حسن پر وقت کیسا گیا ایک ہی گھٹری میں فخر قاسم کا لاش
Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.
کربلا والے ہمیں در سے رضا دیتے ہیں 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 تیر پر تیر بکھا کر یہ دعا دیتے ہیں کربلا والے ہمیں در سے رضا دیتے ہیں کربلا والے ہمیں در سے رضا دیتے ہیں نہ مانیں گے کبھی پانچ چچا لوٹاؤ نہ مانیں گے کبھی پانچ چچا لوٹاؤ نہ مانیں گے کبھی پانچ چچا لوٹاؤ خشک ہوتوں سے یہ معصوم صدا دیتے ہیں کربلا والے ہمیں در سے رضا دیتے ہیں کربلا والے ہمیں در سے رضا دیتے ہیں جملہ دے کھل بے شیر کی ہمت نے کربلا دے کھل بے شیر کی ہمت نے کربلا دے کھل بے شیر کی ہمت نے لپکر کے گلا اپنا بڑھا دیتے ہیں کربلا والے ہمیں در سے رضا دیتے ہیں کربلا والے ہمیں در سے رضا دیتے ہیں ہائے ہائے اکبر کی جوانی کو ذرا دیکھو تو ہائے اکبر کی جوانی کو ذرا دیکھو تو آئی ہے دل پسنا پھر کی دعا دیتے ہیں کربلا والے ہمیں در سے رضا دیتے ہیں کربلا والے ہمیں در سے رضا دیتے ہیں تیر پر تیر بکھا کر یہ دعا دیتے ہیں
Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein.
کیا ڈھونڈ رہی ہے جنگل میں سکینہ عباس کے بازو یا بابا کا سینہ کیا ڈھونڈ رہی ہے جنگل میں سکینہ عباس کے بازو یا بابا کا سینہ کیا ڈھونڈ رہی ہے جنگل میں سکینہ عباس کے بازو یا بابا کا سینہ سچنے کو ہر اور آتی جنگل میں سکینہ عباس کے بازو یا بابا کا سینہ مجھ کو نہیں جینا کیا ڈھونڈ رہی ہے جنگل میں سکینہ عباس کے بازو یا بابا کا سینہ ڈھونڈ رہی ہے جنگل میں سکینہ عباس کے بازو یا بابا کا سینہ
مشکل میں رہائے اولاد نبی کیسی اس دشت مصیبت میں ہے تشنا لبی کیسی آیا نہیں بتا ساقا سکینہ
ڈھونڈ رہی ہے جنگل میں سکینہ عباس کے بازو یا بابا کا سینہ ڈھونڈ رہی ہے جنگل میں سکینہ عباس کے بازو یا بابا کا سینہ
مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین
مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین وہ عابد بیمار تھا وہ عابد بیمار تھا چلنے سے جو لاچار تھا شام کا بازار تھا اور مصطفیٰ کی بیٹیاں مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین وہ اصغر بشیر تھا وہ اصغر بشیر تھا اور حرملا کا تیر تھا اور حرملا کا تیر تھا لرزی زمین اور آسمان مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین
حمزہ
السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي هلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء. السلام عليك يا معين الزوفاء الفخراء. السلام عليك يا مغيث الشياط والزوار في يوم الجزاء. السلام عليك يا أبا الحسن علي بن موسى أيها الرضا كن شفينا وشفي والدينا في يوم الجزاء صلوات الله وعلى آبائك السبع وأبنائك الأربع وأختك فاطمة المعصومة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان الأمان 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 من فتنة ومن الشر الشيطان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا أمام الإنس والجان. أرجو الله تعالى فرجك وسهل مخرجك وظهورك واجعلنا من أنصارك وأعوانك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.